Anyway, let's turn our attention to Red Arrows. They had a date with the brave Nchanga Rangers from Chingola. Let's look at the two selections made by Ona Janza and Ivan Sakala for this game. Now, for Red Arrows, they probably wanted to win. They haven't done very well at home, but it's a team that Ona Janza has inherited that has played for a while. What do you make of their return so far this year?
I think the team is doing better than last year, and I think he drew at home in football. It happened. Sometimes even us as in Lusaka Dynamos, the first 3 games we had also breakdown, but I think somewhere who start picking up. He's not very far from the top 4. So the player, they must pick up. I think they need more. He need more options because he doesn't have more options. They need to beef up the team.
Let's look at the lineups again because look, Francis Kombe leading the line, Loti Nyimbire wide, Ishimbi has been there for a while. We've got Bruce Msakanyash, Malambo Simbaya Mbaya in there, Chepeshi, and this was a freak game for Red Arrows. Is that in less than 10 minutes you've got 2 forced changes. Loti Nyimbire barely kicks a ball, he's injured, forced sub, and less than 5 moves later, Chepeshi is also injured, but we hear that he's recovering. He spent the night at home and not in hospital. If you look at the 2 selections, Ivan Sakala versus Ona Janza, what were your thoughts about that one?
I think Mr. Ona, he had very experienced players. Evans as their kids, so as I can say, because I met them. I met all of them, the players. Evans is trying to make a team now, as compared to Ona. Ona, the team is already there. It's just about the players now to come out
now
to work for their boss.
Okay, let's look at what you term the kids were doing. The Nchanga Rangers, of course, very futuristic team. But let's look at Nchanga Rangers in attack and basically begin to discuss how they were playing. Now, Coach Fati, here's what happens. Well, you've got Benson, the defensive midfielder, gets the ball there. But look at the positioning of Walia Kasonde. Now, it takes good intelligence to say, Mr. Bruce, follow me. Can you mark me? And by the time Bruce is getting into that box to mark him, he's already turned and Shimanya there in the wide areas. He's already gone.
Scored the goal, yeah. The goal. I've seen the goal, and I think the problem in Red Arrows is the defense, but also in Nchanga Rangers will give the credit also to the players. I think after the coach left, the player, they look at are we going to do it or not, so they take decision to push, and I think it's a good result for them in the side.
Is it a team in recovery? You've joined teams in the middle, you've left teams in the middle. What actually could be happening in the dressing room? What could he be dealing with? More so that these are young players.
Nchanga, they're going to do well the next 4-5 games. I'm telling you. Nchanga, next 4-5 games, they're going to do well. Then after this...
Why?
Yeah,
psychology.
What's the psychology? Wait for it then.
Psychology, they already... there was too much pressure for the result. So the coach, Bruce, is already out. Okay? Now the pressure has become less. No talk. Now they deliver. The result draw in Lusaka. In fact, they try to impress the management and the supporters. So this issue, it will motivate them for the next 4-5 games. After this, I'm telling you,
it will come down.
It will come down until to see who's the head coach. They're going to appoint Evans as a head coach, or they're going to bring another head coach. Then you'll start.
Yeah, you see, I was thinking.
So up, down, up, down.
I was thinking the way it is. There's Coach Evans there. Coach Evans will tell the boys, no, there's no pressure, let's just do this. They will do that. But after a short period of time, these boys will say, oh, okay, now since it was us, we've done this. The performance will come down. This one, even me, I can guarantee you.
Okay, so I don't know whether you are you are prophets or what, but anyway, I'll keep this tape, gentlemen, and I'll call you back here after 4 weeks, the both of you. Let's look at Red Arrows match play and just basically look at what Red Arrows were doing. So two forced changes actually for Red Arrows in this game, and you had a situation where Arrows at the beginning were playing long because of the pace of what Nchanga were trying to do, attacking them with pace, trying to bite them with pace. But no sooner did they put the ball down, things actually began to stabilize for Red Arrows, and they had better control of the game, Coach Fatih.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Red Arrows is a good side. When they play in the ground, they look good. I think, like what I said, they have to look at the defense line, because the problem is not in the midfield. They have very good midfield, but they have a problem in the defense line. They have to beef up the defense line and also strike force. But in Nchanga, I think what the coach said, he's trying to build the team. With all of them young, try to put their head together to make a name for themselves. So this is why the fighting spirit, especially after Coach Bruce go down. It's not because Bruce is bad coach, no. Bruce tried to force the result, but the players there was a lot of pressure. When the good result doesn't come, start follow pressure. So when the coach goes, they decide to change the coach
and remove the pressure.
So the player, they think the pressure is gone. They are pushing now. Okay, 3-4 games. After this, they will start relax again.
Wow.
Unless they push, unless Evans become as a head coach for Nchanga Rangers, or Nchanga Rangers they appoint another head coach who push these boys.
Actually, now we are talking about strikers for Red Arrows. You've got Francis Kombe, you've got Lubina Mdia is away on COSAFA duty. You've got Patrick Dudengoma in there. Those look like decent strikers. How on earth does Red Arrows have a problem with quote-unquote strikers?
Decent strikers there, but I think because I followed Red Arrows from day one, from pre-season and stuff. So I know I was talking to Lot. Lot, are you still playing? I was surprised. I said, yes, coach, I'm playing. Loti indeed.
He got injured in that game.
I was surprised he was in the starting lineup. I'm sure it's because Mundia was
away.
So maybe us as coaches, maybe we don't give our players much chance. Maybe we give this one, so that if this one is not there, it's easy to replace.
Lali, make a sub after 13 minutes. Lali, make a sub after 13 minutes. The player was not 100% ready. He's not injured. He's in recovery. But you know why he changed him? Because in attack, he was doing very well. In defense, he wasn't. This is why Zanaco, they was breaking the 3 times.
Right.
They break the right 3 times. This is why the coach said, he can't drop. This is why he changed him. Immediately he changed him. The dangerous start go down, and Zanaco now they feel the right is closed. They start shifting to
the other. That's why. This is why I'm saying maybe Red Arrows they used the Loti. Loti, I think this was maybe his 3rd or 2nd game.
Yeah, but generally you had Francis Simons who actually came on for Loti. So I don't know. Maybe if let's try to bring in this dimension. Let's look at the shot structure for Red Arrows, because maybe to go a mile to further concretize the position that Onajanza actually needs to get his checkbook. Now, by the time the game was finishing, gentlemen, this is what Onajanza's men were able to do, but not score. They only scored once, thanks to a penalty scored by Francis Kombe. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times they could have scored. Like, all this would have just gone away like a bad dream, Coach Fatty. And for coaches, you know these things, like week in, week out, the team is creating chances. 8 from those positions. If you get half of those, you win 4-1.
Okay, he created 8 positions. What does it mean? It means the midfield, he managed to deliver to the front line. It means the front line is not focused. It means he needs a striker. Okay, now he conceded goals, so he need to look at his defense. So if you create a lot of chances in the opponent side and you are not scoring, it means either the problem in the attacking midfield, either the problem of the second man, of the striker, or number 9, the one playing in the box.
So
if you keep conceding every game, you have to look at the back four. What is the problem? The problem, they're breaking from the right, or they're breaking from the left, or I have a problem with the 2 center backs. That's it. Very simple.
No, I'm actually thinking. We say very
so the midfield is good at Red Arrows. This is what I told you. The problem is not in the midfield. With Red Arrows, the midfield is okay, but the problem is in the defense. They have to look at the defense and the strike.
But coaches would argue sometimes and say the job of the coach is to move the team from our half into the final third. There, gentlemen, it's you and your God to rescue us, Dennis. So maybe Onajanza has done his job. Now it's up to the strikers. Clearly, he can't.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's done his job. If you create 8 chances in the opponent side, inside their team, it means that the plan is working very well. Now you have to look at the one is responsible about finishing. Is he doing his job, or he need assist? We need to bring one to assist him, or what?
I think
Francis Kombe should be picking up some goals there.
I've been looking at especially defense teams. Nkwazi, Red Arrows, Green Eagles, and Buffaloes. I look at them, it's like there's that I don't care thing.
You are doubting the sense of
the issue also,
on the part of players.
But the issue also temporary. You can change the tactic, and you don't depend about the strikers. You can reach with the ball to the final third. You don't depend about the strikers. You change the tactic to involve the midfielder somehow in the attack.
To get into the 18.
For the midfielder, now the one is scoring. Forget about the striker. If the striker is not scoring,
let's look at the finalized match stats. That's Red Arrows versus Nchanga Rangers. But I'm sure Nchanga Rangers, on the balance of play, they were able to get the lead. They'll be very happy. When you look at the general statistics there. Now, look at this. Red Arrows, 12 times the crosses. Only 4 did they hit the target. Remember our previous slide. For Nchanga Rangers, 5 times they managed to land their target when it came to crosses. Red Arrows won more corners, 4 compared to only 1 for Nchanga Rangers. 0 offsides for Red Arrows compared to 1 for Rangers. Then you look at the shots on target, 8-2. If you are Evans, Sakala, you're looking at that and say, hey, it was bad. He probably also needs to work on the defense. I know already Isaac Shamujopa is away with the national team, but I don't know for how long will they manage to keep him.
Yeah, I think I watched. We played against the Nchanga Rangers. Most of them, the boys at the back, they are not experienced. I think I know the one who plays with the Shamjomba for central defense is tall, but very young. I think he's even younger than Shamjomba. Inexperienced. So I think these boys, they just need about 4 or 5 games more. They'll
catch up.
Yeah.
Psychologist Fatty, what can you tell us about Nchanga Rangers? Next 5 games, Of course,
Next
you've said that
next 4 games.
they'll be okay.
They'll be okay.
They should be planning for that period after.
Maybe they'll lose 1 game in this next 4 games, but after this, if they didn't settle the club with the head coach, I don't think